Hello and welcome back to Stomp City, and today it's time for a TEW experiment on TEW 2016. And in this episode, we're going to be moving Kenny Omega from AEW to WWE, and we're going to be moving AJ Styles from WWE to AEW. And then we're going to go forward into the future and see how they've both got on in their respective new companies. And if you want to see some more TEW experiments, make sure you drop a like on the video. And if we hit 100 likes, I'll do part 2 of this. And also after this video, make sure you go and check out my ECW series where we've just started season 4. And we've been uploading daily on the channel, so make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss another upload from me. So both wrestlers have a 10-year contract. But for this episode, we're going to go 5 years into the future, which means they cannot leave. AJ Styles in AEW is currently a main eventer, and Kenny Omega is a main eventer in NXT. So he's currently on a developmental contract. I don't expect that to last too long. I'm pretty sure he's going to be called up fairly early. And if we look at the companies on this screen, you can see that AJ Styles tops the roster for AEW, and he's the biggest star that they have. And for NXT, Kenny Omega is the same, and you can see him there at the top. So without any further ado, let's go into the future by 2 years, and we'll come back and see how they're getting on. So here we are, 2 years and 1 month into the future, currently at January 2022. So we're going to start by looking at the Power 500 to see how they've got on each year so far. We can see AJ Styles is currently at 239th in the world, so he's actually dropped down massively. He started off as second, and then he went down to 238th in 2020, and now he's dropped down one spot this year. He's aged 44, so he's probably not going to improve much into the future. Let's take a look at his best matches. We can see his top 10 matches here. He went to a no contest with Pac on AEW Dynamite in June 2021 and got a C+, so that's his best match. And his second best match is also a match with Pac, also on AEW Dynamite 1 month later. He won both of those, and he's got another match here where Pac defeated him in a Fatal 4-Way with Kazarian and Shima in the match as well. He also beat Frankie Kazarian. So 2 old TNA faces going head to head there. He also had another match with Kazarian. He lost to Cody. He lost to Ray Phoenix and beat him as well. So some solid matches. C's all the way down and a C+ there at the top. So that might improve going into the future. But with the age, I'm not sure. Let's see if he's won any championships. And it seems that he hasn't won the AEW title as of yet. Still a main eventer though, so there's still a bit of time. Maybe he can eventually win the title. Let's move on to Kenny Omega, who is currently ranked 50th in the world, who was also dropped. He started off at 13th, then he went to 29th, and then 50th in the world. But he has been called up to WWE, and he is a main eventer. And at the age of 38, he's got a little bit more time to win the championship, unlike AJ. So let's see, firstly, what his best matches are before we look at his title history. And his best match was on WWE Raw, Kenny Omega losing to Finn Balor. And earlier on in that year, Kenny beat Balor on Raw, so a little feud there. He was also part of the WWE Royal Rumble 2021, which Jimmy Uso won. But you can see here much better ratings for Kenny. He wasn't called up straight away though. You can see here that Adam Cole defeated him on NXT TakeOver 28. Let's quickly see if he had many matches in NXT. So he had that B match for the NXT title and lost. So he put Adam Cole over on his NXT debut. And then it seems like he was called up straight away. He did win the WWE title there, as you can see here, defeating Rowan, Uso and Kane. It looks like one of the Usos there, getting a big push. He won the Royal Rumble. He won the belt on WWE Raw, which is kind of strange. Has he appeared at WrestleMania? He hasn't. Again, the AI is not exactly perfect on TEW, so that's fine. Let's see how his title run went. He won the championship off Kane. Kane defeated Brock Lesnar, then Omega defeated Kane. And he defended it 11 times between June 2020 and March 2021. So it looks like Kenny's having a little bit more success than AJ, having won the WWE Championship. But let's go into the future 3 more years this time, to 2025, to see if things have started to improve for AJ. and whether things have continued to go well for Kenny Omega. So again, we'll start with the Power 500, and where we left off, AJ was 239th, but he has risen since then, going up to 205th, then 185th, and then 89th. So things are starting to get better for AJ. Let's see if things have gone better for him in the title department, and it seems not. He hasn't won the title just yet, and maybe time is starting to run out for him. He's now 47, but he is still a main eventer though, so who knows. Let's see if any new matches have been added to his top 10 matches, and there seem to be all new matches since when we last were. 3 Bs there and the rest B-. His best match was a tag team match teaming with Cody taking on the Lucha Brothers in 2024. Seems like he's been teaming with Cody quite a bit there, as his second best match was also teaming with Cody, taking on Pentagon Jr. and Jon Moxley, and they won by disqualification on Dynamite. AJ also defeated Cody in a singles match, which was also a B. But yeah, he still hasn't won a title though, but he's put in some solid performances and definitely improving since we last saw him. And let's see if Kenny Omega has maybe won some more championships. But as for his Power 500, he's been in round about the same area. He went up to 48th and 55th. He's still above AJ though. And in terms of his push, he's still a main eventer. His popularity has risen to B-. I know I started it at C-. So he's definitely getting over, and has that translated into more championship opportunities for Kenny. And it seems not. He's only had the one WWE title reign back in 2021. Now 4 years later. And let's see his top matches, see if anything else has broken through. So he's repeated that match against Adam Cole that they had on TakeOver and did it on Raw and smashed it with a B+. He had a good match with Andrade, Raul Mendoza. He was in the Royal Rumble that Seth Rollins won in 2024. He had a great match with Drake Maverick as well. Roderick Strong on Raw as well. And a good match down there with Randy Orton too. But yeah, it looks like Kenny might have hit a bit of a stumbling block, and he can't get any more gold. Maybe they said, we're going to give you the title, gave him the title, and then they've decided to bury him. Who knows? And before we end the episode, I just want to quickly look at how they're comparing to everybody else in the company that they represent. So we're going to look at the AEW roster for now. And it looks like Rey Fenix, interestingly, has overtook AJ. And AJ has dropped down to second. And Kenny was top of NXT, but of course now he's moved to WWE. And he is actually 11th, with Tyler Breeze becoming the best wrestler in WWE. That's amazing. And I didn't expect that. But you can see there as well, Kofi's up there, Seth, Roman. And yeah, Kenny is even below Drake Maverick, who seems to be doing pretty well as well. And you remember that Kenny and Drake had a match that's in Kenny Omega's top 10 matches of the save. So yeah, interesting stuff, but he hasn't managed to reach the top of WWE. And it seems like AJ is starting to climb down the ladder too. And let's look at the top 10 matches of AEW of all time to see if any of AJ's matches are actually in here. It seems like they're not. The best match AEW have had is Cody and Jon Moxley on AEW Dynamite in 2024. AEW seem to be having a lot of DQ finishes and a no contest there, especially between Cody and Jon Moxley. How about Kenny? How have his matches compared to the rest of WWE? And it seems like none of his matches are in the top 10 either. So will they manage to break into the top 10 of all time of the company in the next episode, if we do it? But if I was to give some advice to both men, I would say stay where you are in real life, because if this is any indication for what would happen if you were to move, it's not going to go quite as planned, I would say. So, been interesting though, and it's certainly given me some ideas going forward for other experiments. I've got a few ideas in mind, but I don't really want to say them just yet. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of TEW Experiments on TEW 2016. If you want to see this continue, to see how the rest of their careers pan out in their respective companies, make sure you leave a like on the video and I'll go forward until maybe they both retire and we'll track to see how they get on. And if you want to see some more TEW experiments, let me know in the comments what you want to see, give me some ideas and I'll do them. And make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss another episode. And maybe check out one of the videos that you can see on the screen right now. And until next time, peace.